What if the reason your back pain hasn't healed isn't your spine, but the way your nervous system adapts? If your pain has lasted longer than the injury has started, your body may not be broken. It may have learned protection. Hey, I'm Antony, physiotherapist, nutritionist, and functional medicine practitioner. Here at NxHLife, we translate science into empowerment so you can rise as a pain warrior and take back control. In the previous video, we talked about why your MRI can look normal while your pain is not. Today, we're going deeper because one of the most misunderstood truths about chronic pain is this. Pain can persist not because tissue is still damaged, but because your nervous system has adapted. And adaptation is powerful. Let's start with a simple word that often sounds complicated. Neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity simply means that the nervous system can change. It can strengthen connections, weaken connections, become more efficient, become more sensitive. This is how you learn new skills. It's how you learn a language and how to build muscle memory. Every time you practice something repeatedly, the nervous system adapts. The pathways involved becomes stronger and faster. But here's something important. That same ability to adapt can also happen with pain pathways. Pain signals can become reinforced over time, not because pain is imagined, but because the nervous system is incredibly good at learning patterns. And once a pattern is learned, it can become automatic. And if the word learned feels confronting, stay with me. Because this is not about blame, it's about possibility. Because the same system that can reinforce pain can also learn safety again. Let's look at the difference between acute and chronic pain. In an acute pain, tissue damage occurs, inflammation rises, pain signals increases. This is a healthy response. Pain protects the injured area and encourages rest. Over time, the tissue heals, pain decreases, the system returns to normal. But sometimes, something different happens. The tissue heals, yet the alarm system remains active. Not because your body is failing, but because your nervous system has learned to stay protective. Protection repeated often enough becomes automatic. This is one of the most important distinctions in pain science. Damage is about tissue. Protection is about perception. Your nervous system is constantly evaluating signals from the body and the environment, and it asks one simple question. Is this safe? If the answer feels uncertain, pain signals can increase. Stress, fatigue, poor sleep, fear of movement, previous injury experience. All of these can influence how the nervous system interprets safety. And when the system becomes uncertain, it may amplify output. That output is pain. Now, let's correct something carefully. This does not mean pain is all in your head. Pain is always real. Pain is always produced by the nervous system. But that doesn't make it imaginary. The nervous system can also produce vision, balance, hunger, and motion. Generation does not equal fabrication. It means the nervous system is processing information. Think about a car alarm. When it's calibrated correctly, it responds to real threats. But if the alarm becomes hypersensitive, it might go off when someone simply walks too close. The alarm isn't broken, it's overprotective. Chronic back pain often behaves the same way. Movements that were once safe begin to feel threatened. Sitting becomes uncomfortable. Bending feels dangerous because the spine is fragile, but because the alarm system has become louder. This is where reductionism can become a problem. If we only look at structure, we miss sensitivity. If we only prescribe exercises without addressing protection, we miss calibration. The human body is not a machine with one broken part. It's an adaptive system. An adaptive system requires integration. Let's look at how chronic pain circuits can strengthen. It often follows a pattern like this. First, an injury or stressful event occurs. Pain increases, movement becomes uncomfortable, some movement is avoided, Avoidance leads to stiffness. Stiffness increases sensitivity. Fear of re-injury grows. The nervous system becomes more vigilant, and gradually the pain system becomes more reactive. This is not weakness, this is adaptation. But adaptations work both ways. The nervous system can reinforce pain, and it can also retrain safety. If you've ever been told, just strengthen your core, or just push through the pain, and it did not work, that doesn't mean you failed. It may simply mean that protection system was never addressed. This is what we call the protection lens. Through this lens, we ask questions. Nervous system overload? Is fear amplifying pain signal? Is stress lowering the safety threshold? Is avoidance reinforcing danger signal? This lens doesn't replace movement. It's contextualized movement. Because movement performed in a threat state can reinforce protection. Movement performed in a state of safety can retrain the nervous system. Rewiring pain pathway is not about positive thinking, and it's not about pretending pain does not exist. Real rewiring often involves several layers: gradual exposure to movement, rebuilding confidence, reducing catastrophic interpretations, calming stress physiology, restoring sleep, or understanding where these emotions come from. Then you can slowly teach the nervous system that certain actions are safe again. It is a process, but it's a process the body is capable of. And if you're thinking, but I've had pain for years, that does not disqualify you. Because neuroplasticity doesn't expire, the nervous system remains adaptable throughout life. If your MRI looks normal, but your pain persists, the solution may not be about finding more damage. It may be about retraining protection or safety. You might start asking different questions. What movement do I fear? When do my symptoms flare? What stresses influence my pain? Or is there any pattern of my emotion linking to my pain? These patterns matter because you're fragile, but because your system adapts. And here's something important. Protection never works alone. It interacts with movement, sleep, stress, inflammations, hormones, and life context. That's why chronic pain often feels complex. And it's also why chasing one single solution rarely works long term. Pain is multi-dimensional. And understanding those dimensions is the beginning of clarity. In the next video, we're going to talk about something controversial. Why certain back pain treatments work for some people, but fail completely for others. Because without matching the treatment to the driver of pain, we often end up frustrated. And frustration itself can reinforce protection. If this explanation feels different from what you've heard before, that's intentional. Pain is not simply structural, and it's not simply psychological. It's multi-dimensional. And most people never receive a clear map of how those dimensions interact. If you'd like to begin understanding your pain through a map and start taking control, download the free guide below, 7 Unspoken Truths About Chronic Pain. It introduced the key shift in thinking that many people with persistent pain never get taught. And if you want to keep learning how to understand pain through science and practical strategies, subscribe. We're building this map together. Let's turn pain into peace one step at a time.